Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me with my Facebook Live this morning. This is actually my second one of the day. I was on earlier this morning with our winter celebration extravaganza, so busy day for me with Facebook. My name is Tracy Frith, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta. And today I'm going to be showcasing the new Horizons Designer Series paper. So I'll just give you a little peek at all the different patterns in this. So this is out of the January to June mini catalog, this paper. It's a 6x6 and it's stunning. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. I'm just going to show you the one side here. I was going to fan them out, but you can't really see how beautiful it really is if you only see a little piece of it, of the little corner of the page. So just going through the different, these are all the different designs. So you get, I can't remember how many it is. I'd have to go back and read, but there's, you get 4 pieces of each of these patterns. And there's quite a few patterns. So I actually shared a package with my mom. And we have lots to choose from between the two of us. So we each got 2 sheets of everything, and then this is the back side. So the back side is, for most of them, is not so much. Like the front kind of looks like a scene. The back doesn't as much. There's a few that it could, and you could certainly build your own scene on there with stamps if you wanted to for some of them. They're more just single-ish colors on the back side, but also really pretty. So that's, yeah, like this one you could definitely build more of a scene with that. Let me try and find the one that I'm using today. I should have pulled that one out separately. Okay, come on. There it is. All right, so this is the piece that I'm going to use today, and I am going to use the front side of that. All right. And let me show you the card. Now this, I'd made a sample card last night and wasn't super crazy about how it turned out. Looking at it this morning, it's grown on me a bit more. So this is what I did. So I wanted to make, it's called a mini Slimline card. So Slimline cards have been really popular over the last year or so. They're usually a little bit longer and a tiny bit wider, depending on, there's a few different dimensions that you can use. But this one's just a little bit smaller version. I thought it was kind of cute, so I thought I would try it. So what I did for this one, it's super simple. All I did was I cut the designer paper, mounted it on the card, and I stamped, I used Tuxedo black for this one. And I just stamped my greeting, and I stamped some of the little butterflies, or I think they're butterflies or dragonflies. They look to me like they look like butterflies. And they're from the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. So I am going to use that today. On my today's version of the card. But let me show you, let me just grab one more thing I forgot to bring over. So let me show you what I did when I was trying to put this together. When I first stamped that, I was like, I'm not really sure I like it. I want something a little bit more. So I took the bottom, so this is the top half of the designer paper pattern. I took the bottom half and I punched out some little dragonflies that I thought maybe I could use on the front of this card. Well, when I put them on, I wasn't crazy about that either. So I just kind of put those aside. And then I thought that bottom piece of paper is the same size because you just cut it, basically you just cut it in half to mount it on this card. So it's the same size as the top side. So let's see what that looks like on my cardstock. So when I put that on, I'll just use the back of this one. And I had the 2 little punch outs, and I cut them in opposite corners just because there was a little bit different colors on those 2 corners. I really liked the way that looked. So I'm going to use a little bit different design, same concept, use the second half of my paper, and show you a different card. So this one is sort of from scratch today. The idea is in my head. So we'll see how it turns out, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so to start with my card base, I'm using Blackberry Bliss today, and this one is It's 6 1/4 by 6 1/2. And you want to put your score line down the middle of the 6 1/2 side, and it's going to be at 3 1/4. Okay, so 6 1/2, score at 3 1/4. And then we can just fold that in half. Oh, I don't have my score line quite in the center today, but that's okay because it'll work out anyways when I use my bone folder. There we go. Okay, so that's done. My designer paper is 1/4 inch smaller, so it is 3 by 6. And I'm going to use that piece that already has the two things stamped out of it, punched out of it. I have a scrap of white that I have used the Tasteful label dies to cut out. I'll just put it on here so you can see it a little bit better. So Tasteful label dies, and it's this shape, so it punches it out, and it does a little bit of embossing around the edges as well. I'm not sure how well you can see that on here. And then I have another piece of white for the inside, and it's the same size as the designer paper, so 3 by 6. So that's going to go on the inside of the card. All right, so let's put this together here. So I'm just going to take, now in the annual so the Dragonfly Garden set is from the annual catalog. The designer series paper is from the January to June mini. And I'm also going to use the Dragonfly Punch. Okay, and this one has the big dragonfly and the little dragonfly. So I'm going to use the little one. So I'm just going to punch out my other two corners here. I always like to punch from the back so I can see what's going on. And I know I tried to kind of, when I was doing it, I was trying to conserve paper, so I put it fairly close to the corner. So we'll try and do that again. And I'll punch out two more little dragonflies here. Oops, it looks like you have to watch, because if you put it in too far, it looks like I did that on this corner. The head of the large dragonfly will punch your corner. So we will move that a little bit closer to the edge. There we go. That one's going to have a little bit of a corner punched off, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyways. All right. So that will be the front of my card. I'll leave that aside. I'm going to hang on to those little punch dragonflies because I'm going to use those as well. And then I'm going to take my tailored tag. Now normally I stamp first and then cut it out. Today I cut it out first, so we'll see what happens here. If it's really crooked, I will probably stamp it and then cut it out again. So I'm using Misty Moonlight ink today. I like the idea of the Misty Moonlight instead of the black. I thought it would be a little less harsh. So if I did this version again, I would probably do that. I would use Misty Moonlight instead of the Tuxedo black. Okay, let's see if I can get this straight. I don't know if this is on screen. Hopefully it is. A little bit crooked, but you know what? It's not too bad, and I actually did one last night just to see the color. So I'm just going to use that one. That one's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, I'll use that one. All right. Okay, so now we just have to put everything together. This is a really simple card. Okay, so I'm going to pop this piece up on dimensionals. Do I want to do that first? No, I think I'm going to put this on. I might use dimensionals on all of it, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this on dimensionals as well. Do I want to do that? Yeah, go ahead. Bite the bullet. Just get it done. You'll see why I was hesitating in a minute here. That one in the middle. I'm going to add dragonflies as well to this, so that's why I was a bit hesitant, because I thought I'm going to have to somehow lift up the dragonflies as well, which will be a little bit challenging because they're pretty tiny. But that's okay, we'll make it work. All right. So I'll put it on the inside there. I usually put them right on the corner, but I can't do that on this one because there's dragonflies there. Morning, Leanne. Oh, and thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So yeah, if you are watching this video, either live or on the replay, if you comment or share, you will win one of the versions of the card that I made this week. You know what? I'm going to go one more set. Might be overdoing the dimensionals today, but that's okay. There we go. All right. I'll take those off. I'm going to put those onto the front of my card base here. Anyway, so yes, if you comment or share my video, you will be able to win a copy or one of the cards that I make today. I will send it out to you in the mail, so please do that. I'm trying to get my videos out to a larger audience, so the more that you can share with your friends and family, the more people will see, and hopefully I will grow my audience. Hi, Mom. All right, so I'm just going to center that on the front of the card. And then, last but not least, I want to put couple of the dragonflies. So I thought I could put one kind of there, and maybe one of the darker ones on the bottom here. Okay, so I'm going to pull out. Yeah. So when you use up all your dimensionals, you always have a border around the outside that has little bits left. And I don't know if this is going to work 100%, but we'll see, because it needs to be a pretty skinny little piece, or I may just leave it off. I'm going to try, and I've got a little bit cut. So I just cut these little bits up to whatever size I want them. So I've got one little bit. I'm going to see if it'll fit on his tail. If it's too big, then I will just not glue his tail down. You could also use the adhesive sheets if you knew ahead of time what you were doing. This was a bit of an accident, the idea for this card, so how's that going to look? Oh, that might work, if it will stay on. I can't find a sticky side here. You know what? It's too much trouble. I'm just going to leave that. All right. So because I'm not going to do the dimensionals, I'm just going to add the glue, the adhesive, to the top part of my dragonfly that's going to be on the white piece here. If I had dimensionals that worked, I guess the adhesive sheets would work to stick them down, but they wouldn't give it dimension either, so that idea wasn't the best. Sometimes you have to talk it through and see what works. All right, so this little guy I'm just going to put over here. And where's my other one? Right here. So I'll do the same thing. Give him a bit of glue on the top here. I should have got my tweezers out for these guys. They're really little. And this one can go up here in this corner. So yeah, normally I like to try and glue those little ends down so they don't catch on things when you're putting them in all the envelopes, but that is fine for today. All right, and then the inside of my card, I'm just going to use my other little dragonflies and pop, my whole sheet around here and pop them in the corner. So these ones I'm just going to glue flat down. one in the bottom corner here. I'll put the other one in the top. And you can pick either side once you've got them punched out. They have pretty colors on both sides, so whichever side you like best you can put down. I want to make this one a little bit darker. So I'll put that up in the top corner. And then this whole panel, oh, good morning, Sherry. You want to know what size? So I think the dimensions of the card itself are 3 1/4 by 6. 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I started with a piece that was 6 1/2 by 6 1/4 and scored it at 3 1/4. So it's called a mini slimline card. Okay, so there we go. And yes, I love this paper. Like, it's so pretty. So yeah, so there's my card. I did add on this one some of the in-color gems, in-color jewels. So the 2023 in color. You know what? And I don't know if that one needs any. I think I'm going to leave them off for this one for today, at least. I might change my mind later, but there we go. So really simple to put together. This paper makes it so easy to make a card. I've seen tons of examples on Pinterest where they've just literally cut out a square and stamped a greeting on it and put it on a card and it was done. So if you're looking for a quick card, this is amazing paper to do that with. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching and thank you for sharing. I once again forgot to do my draw. So I will do my draw and put it in the description when I post that, when I post the video. And that's the draw from last week's card. And that one was, I believe I did the little otter card last week. So I will do a draw for that one and post the winner in the comments or in the description. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And I will see you again next week.